Hello, my name is Colin Webb, and I've been taking Cymbalta for about 10 and a half years now, Cymbalta and clonazepam. Um, and just recently, I had a brand switch from Cymbalta. I was taking brand name Cymbalta, and then it was discontinued by Eli Lilly. That happened in April, and then that caused a bunch of problems. So let's just start from the beginning. Like that happened in April. I would always drink beer on the weekends, have like 4 or 5 beers. From the time I was 16, then I started taking both of these drugs when I was 25 because I had a panic attack when I was teaching. And then in April, and I noticed I'd been having 4 or 5 beers every single weekend forever since I was 16. I'm 34 now. In April, there's April 8th, there was a brand switch, felt nothing. And this was for Cymbalta, got switched from brand name Eli Lilly to a generic called Breckenridge. And it wasn't the Breckenridge, it was just the fact that it wasn't Eli Lilly anymore because the amount of the drug that are in the pills can differ a ton. And then when that happens, it can, mess you up. And I just felt sick. And then drank a couple beers on May 10th, and then it really messed me up. Everything was, I just had like a ton of electricity in me, extremely hard to focus. Everything was just so much harder to do. And then that was May 10th, and then on June 17th, I tried to go to a meeting with work. I've been on a million work meetings before. That was way too much, and I didn't leave the meeting when I should have. I could just feel myself like frying, my brain frying in there. That happened June 17th, and then that took out walking, and driving was too stimulating for me, so I just had to like stay in my house. Granted, I was running marathons and traveling all over the world before this, so yeah. And then August 3rd, I tried to drive too far again too soon. That knocked me out. And then August 27th, I accidentally took 4% less of my clonazepam dose for the evening. And that I started getting interdose withdrawal akathisia. Had that for about a month. Then in September, slowly getting better. October, slowly getting better. And then started walking again in September, but I couldn't figure out like how to increase it. Like I would I would say like, okay, I'm gonna increase 30 seconds a day, but then that seemed like too much. And then I heard from another person in this space said that when she had a similar thing, she would do everything with her husband outside because like your brain's freaking out because it's not inside anymore, but when you're with your spouse outside, it's like having a safety rail kind of. And so that has worked really, really well for me. 2 weeks ago, I made a video and was barely walking 4 minutes. Now I'm walking 17 minutes. And I'm trying to add time in like at the end, halfway point of the walk. So when I'm furthest away from the home, adding just standing there because something about, I think it's called static versus dynamic energy or something. When you're moving outside, it's easy because your brain is like, okay, I can focus on the next step, next step, next step. And then when you stop, it's just like, it's so much information coming in. So I'm up to just this morning, 17-minute walks and 3 minutes of standing there halfway in between. I go with my wife and my daughter. I have the greatest wife on planet Earth for putting up with this crap. I would give anything to be off these drugs, but I can't quit. I've tried to taper off the benzos with the water solution method, but that was too quick several times. And then found the jewelry scale and sandpaper method, and then that's been working. That did work, and I got from 1 milligram down to 0.75 milligrams. So I've just been holding pretty much for the past 9 months ever since this Cymbalta brand change. It's not the brand because I was on brand name, then I took Breckenridge, and then was taking Breckenridge, then I thought it was the brand, so then I switched to a brand called Lupin, And then I thought I felt better, but then I kept doing the things that I said earlier to knock me worse, like drinking alcohol. A million times before it was fine, but once my brain was in that brand change mode and then I drank alcohol, it was like a flamethrower to my brain. Yeah, and so right now I'm at 17-minute walks with 3 minutes in between, and I'm driving 8 minutes. And I just tried for the first time, so like 4 minutes there, 4 minutes back. I just tried getting out of the car when I'm, drive for 4 minutes, get out of the car, and walk a minute, walk 30 seconds, and then come back. And that was like, whoa. Granted, I'm a 34-year-old male. None of this ever happened before. It's all because of these drugs. So if you're taking Klonopin or benzodiazepines or SSRIs or SNRIs, I want an SNRI, that's Cymbalta, right? Just be careful with them. I mean, if you have the option, don't take them. In my opinion, do whatever you can to not take them. Do whatever. I wish I'd never, ever, ever, ever touch these pills, because now I'm stuck on them and I can't stop taking them, because then I'd be much, much worse. And I have a wife and a 9-month-old baby. I can work full time, which is really weird. I'm an insurance agent and I can work full time at home. But going outside and driving for 4 minutes now is difficult, or is challenging, but I'm improving every day. So I hopefully should be better, like back to normal, maybe early next year. I'm filming this in November, late November 2025. So maybe like February, March. But if it's just insane how many doctors prescribe these, and then you say you're having problems with them, or I mean, like, I never had any issues on them. It's only been getting off of them that there's been massive, massive life-changing issues. So if you have the opportunity, or like you're on the fence and you don't want to take, or you say, should I take it? Don't. The risks far outweigh the reward. And they do help some people, but just know that once you've been taking it for a while, your brain chemistry changes, and if you stop taking it, it's like pulling a leg out from under a chair. It's just going to collapse. So the only way to safely get off of these is to do a slow hyperbolic taper off over years. It depends how long you've been taking it, but the reason I'm making these videos is it's the only way that I can make sense in my head to for the pain and suffering that I've gone through with these drugs. So because I want to help other people not be on them, get off them, do the same thing I'm doing. So I'm just, making a video every 2 weeks until I'm off of both of these. But I can't even drive for 8 minutes. And then, I mean, I can drive for 8 minutes, but I can't even get out and like walk around outside. I can go for a walk, but then driving, and then you get this like insane panic, like, oh, it's time to go home. It's time to go home. Never happened before. Again, running marathons, love to hit the gym, traveled all over the world, all over Asia. None of this happened until